Spoken Layer.
I went to sleep that night without knowing it would be the last night I ever spent in that bed at my parents' house in London. Meredith, my mum shook me awake. The room was dark, making it obvious it wasn't morning yet, or not time to get up for school anyway. Mum, I mumbled in my half-asleep state. It's time to go. Everything I told you about those stories is true. It's time for you to leave us so you can train to be a protector. Your dad and I, we've done everything we possibly can to prepare you.
First Charge is the first book in the Destiny Initiative series by Amanda Steele. The book can be purchased in paperback from Amazon. The ebook can also be purchased on Kindle, Kobo, Apple Books, and many others. Spoken Thank you today for tuning in to Spoken Label. Spoken Label was originally set up at the beginning of 2016 and as of recording has over 200 sessions in our archive. Although the podcast can be heard on Anchor, iTunes, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and literally 10 or 11 other networks, the full archive can be found at Spoken Label, all one word, spokenlabel.bandcamp.com. On Bandcamp, it is set as pay what you want, so you are entitled, if you wish, you can download it or stream it for nothing. But if you're going to throw me a couple of pennies my way, it is always eternally grateful to help me maintain the operating costs and future running costs of the podcast. Enjoy. Spoken Label.
Hi guys, Andy Ed, Spoken Label, back in the house. Back into Zoom again today, of course. I'm back localish today as well, because I've got a young lady with me today who I think is a tremendous singer-songwriter. And I've seen her perform a good few times over the past couple of years, and it's a pleasure to have her on today as well. So Charlotte, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody? Tell them who you are, and a little bit about your music career, where it all came from. We'll start from there.
Yeah. I'm Charlotte Mary. So from a very young age, my inspirations of music side comes from my dad and my mum in particular, but obviously from the songwriting side, following my dad. So I was born a Springsteen fan.
Oh, were you? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes,
Didn't know that, right.
Big Springsteen, yes, The Boss is one of my favourites. Yeah, The Boss and Dolly Parton are the two people in my life that drive me music. So
yeah, I've seen you do a Jolene cover version before. I didn't know about Springsteen actually. I must have.
Yes, yeah. So with Springsteen, I think it was. So I did a degree in songwriting at Birmingham, Manchester, and one of the things I had to do there was analyse an album. I actually analysed Born to Run by Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
One of the classic hits.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, real classic.
Yeah, my dad's always had. I mean, Dad's got all the LPs of Springsteen, so I've always heard it from a young age, and I think it was just that ethos of a working man who's just sort of from the background being so, he's always stayed true to himself. He's not had fame and then made himself into something else. He's always been quite a grounded guy, and I wanted that sort of thing, and it was just from studying it from education at music. But I know a lot of people, when I was younger, I wanted to be this at this age, and with me, I had no clue, and the only thing that made me into a musician was the fact that I knew I could do it in my sleep, sort of thing, and I knew it was something I was good at naturally, and I thought, well, you can't go wrong, can you? If it's something you feel comfortable doing and you can just think about doing it anyway, that's pretty much where I left from there. So I did it through high school, college, did it into a degree, and then sort of went into the open world of doing it, of gigging, and it's one thing of like a path in life. Even if you slightly go off course, it's always something that's going to bring me back into that path, which is such a good safety net sort of thing. And I absolutely love doing it. So yeah, I've had originally I was in a folk band and did Irish music, so sort of Pogues-esque sort of stuff.
Oh, cool.
Sort of 5-6 years ago, that was where I first started off, and then I sort of went solo from that, and the main reason for going solo was just being able to rely on yourself. I mean, I have a lot of musician friends, I know a lot of musicians, but just being able to turn up at a gig by yourself, you've turned up, you've got your things, what set you're doing, which way you're going with that, and it was just being sort of as one unit just made my music a bit more sort of me, whereas in a band it sort of got lost with other musicians and things like that, whereas when I went solo, it really brought out, like, people could say, oh, that's a song that Charlotte's written, because they could associate that with me, and it was more of a sounding that I got for myself. So yeah, I've been solo now for sort of 4 or 5 years. Just been writing. Obviously with the pandemic this year, or last year now, going into this year.
Yes.
God, I know it's a worry. Not being able to gig. I mean, that's been a real eye opener, because it's just been a case of I did a lot of open mics in Manchester. Izzy Walsh, one of my favourite musicians. She hosts a night over in Northern Quarter, and I did a lot of gigs of open nights, trying out new material and things like that. And it's with the pandemic coming in, I always used to think to myself, like, God, these nights went on till like midnight, and it was a long haul for the evening. But seeing other musicians and being there with other musicians, obviously reflecting back now, it was such a social thing. A gig is a social thing. It's to hear the music. But I've been to a lot of gigs on my own, and I go a lot to gigs on my own when I'm performing myself. But it's that whole social bubble of, like, music just isn't listening to it. It's being with other people and appreciating the music with other people and things like that. So it's been a real struggle, to be honest, because I think a lot of, for myself included, I thought that my inspiration of writing music came from, like, obviously negative, well, I'll say negative things. I mean, when I first started writing, all my
reflective things, like I always say.
all my lyrics seem to be based around heartache, anger, arguments, things like that. Like anything that I fed off negativity in order to write. And I think that's where the sort of Americana country genre came in, because all the topics I write about fit perfectly into country music. I mean, I've not written a song about a dumper truck yet, but apart from that, everything else pretty much falls into that. So
you not songs about drinking too much, have you yet at all?
No, you know what? I'm not. You know what? I've only just discovered rum, but on a one glass a month. One glass a month. I don't have. Yeah, I'm not into. I'm not a big drinker, so I can't write anything about that yet. Let's see how this year goes, shall we?
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah. My little lady Amanda, who you met, she's a massive Kiefer Sutherland fan. She is.
Oh yes.
Oh, she loves his country music as well as acting. Yeah. He's got a song going around, "Not Enough Whiskey," and every time she sees me drinking whiskey, she starts singing that one to me.
Not enough. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I don't drink either. So yeah, but I don't mean it's been like. Obviously, what you said, it's been a funny year, really, hasn't it? It's like, with the past year or so of music and stuff. So, how have you found it on the Zoom experience doing your music? Then it's very weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've done quite a couple of Zoom gigs now, but it's interesting really, because I've also done a lot of Zoom gigs, and a lot of Facebook Lives. I did a lot of Facebook Lives at the start of last year, just because I just thought, you know what, I need to keep gigging, I need to keep interacting with people. And at the start of the year, it was great. Sort of March time when we all went into full lockdown, because I had people tuning in that didn't even know. Like, my fans went up quite a lot in the first sort of month or so, which was really good. And then it seems to be like a correlation of when it's full lockdown, everyone's there listening, I've got quite a good audience. And then when things start easing again, so shops start opening, people can actually leave the houses, it's like people started filtering out then again, so it sort of died down again. So, but I've spoken to quite a few musicians, and I think the general consensus seems to be, we miss gigging, we want everything back open, that we can go out live gigging, because obviously not having that audience interaction is really strange. I mean, Zoom's a lot better because you've got other people there, they can clap and you can hear it, whereas Facebook Live, you sort of finish a song and then it's like silence. So I find myself sat there going, thank you. Like, why am I thanking myself? Like, there's no one else in the room.
It's weird. Yeah, I've done poetry readings on Facebook Live, and I've never quite gelled with me yet, so I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's great because I think you can attract a wider audience. Like, I mean, I know other musicians probably have this issue as well, but like the amount of times I do a gig and it's like, I'm gigging in Manchester, and you get the whole, oh yeah, sounds good that, yeah, I'll come to that. And then it's like, the 40 people you invited turns out to be 10 or 5 people that actually come, sort of thing. Whereas like with Facebook, I mean, especially, so I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook, but I have 2 separate audiences. So my Facebook is UK based, so I have a lot of UK fans on there, whereas the Instagram is mainly American. So it's like, So with the Instagram, I've not actually gone live on Instagram yet. However, for that I'll have to go on at sort of evening time here to make it prime time in America and work out with the time zones and things like that.
Oh, I
So
know, it's crazy.
so a lot of my US fans have said, oh, I'm going live on Facebook at like 7 o'clock UK time. But then obviously the US isn't just one time zone, it's multiple time zones. So people are saying to me, oh, I missed it because it was like 6 a.m. here, or it was like 5 a.m., or it was like 10 o'clock in the morning sort of thing. So I'm trying to like do a level playing field as to what's the best time to go on. But it's just been a bit of a minefield, really.
Oh, yeah, completely. Because like it's when I'm doing the podcasting, like I chat to mostly English artists like yourself. But I've got quite a few coming from America, and the time zone difference is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very confusing. I've got one. I've just booked in something from Australia, and I don't know how I'm going to do that one yet because they're like 12 hours behind me. I'll just walk in front of me, and it's going to be like. Ugh.
You're going to be there 3 a.m. Like, clash some questions.
I know. I won't be the best of 3 a.m. That'd be like you doing a gig for Australia at 3 in the morning.
I know. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm going to ask you now, obviously, when things come out of lockdown, do you have any plans for the future lined up at the moment? I know you've been steadily releasing bits of music, haven't you, over time?
Yeah. So, it's a quite crazy story, really. So, like, this is my musician honesty coming out now. I've spoken to a few musicians, like close friends, musicians, about this. But it seems to be so. Last year, like I said, obviously mental health within the pandemic has been horrendous for a lot of people, especially last year for me. I struggled really badly because normally. If it was a general year and nothing had happened, sort of thing, we were back to normal. I can usually churn out quite a few songs, sort of like it normally comes in pairs. So I write 2 songs every other month, sort of thing, and it come flowing out. However, this year it's dawned on me that my inspiration comes from gigging live and seeing other people live, and because I've not had that, I've not had any inspiration to write, or I've struggled really badly. Like I've had quite a bad writer's block for the last year or so. However, I did manage to churn out a single towards Christmas, which was great.
I heard that. That was excellent. That was excellent.
Yeah, so it was a case of, and the other sort of demon within it was the fact that obviously with, you can't escape negativity at the moment. Social media was just the hub of that. So in regards of not being able to write anything, I struggled to connect with social media. So I didn't really post much. If at all, sort of thing. So obviously with the single, it just gave me that sort of energy to start getting back into social media, connecting with people and stuff like that, and it got me out of that. And it was great because when we released it, Mind Charity actually got in touch. We spoke to them, and they said because of the basis of the song called Set Yourself Free, which is the newest single, is basically, if you have bad mental health days, it's just sort of believing yourself and, progress with that positive attitude. And Mind absolutely loved the song. So they actually sort of posted it on behalf of them and said, this is a song that's come out that's related to their campaign, which was like called Take a Moment. So it was like, take a moment, take a breath, get yourself together sort of thing. And they pushed my song, which was really nice of them. And when it was released, it went onto Spotify and I got a lovely notification off one of my promo friends from Bells and Gals, who's a women's country music blogger, to tell me, one of your songs has made it onto a Spotify playlist on Spotify, and I've never had that, and I was like, oh my god. So that came through, so I'm actually featured on New Music Nashville on Spotify. So
really?
Out of the whole that set list, I'm the only British person. Everyone else is from Nashville. It's just me on my own, no one else. So I was absolutely thrilled, and currently as it stands, I think I'm on about 7,000 streams, which is the most I've ever had. All the other songs have got about 10 or 15, and this one's just gone through the roof. So, you know what? I'd say it's been an unproductive year. However, towards the end was the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel, and I feel a lot better now. And since then, I've written more songs now, and I think it's having that as a push has enabled me to sort of like, not, if I don't write a song, I beat myself up pretty badly about it. But I think it's a case of, it's a weird time to be writing, and it's a weird time to be, and you just, because when you write a song, you want to perform it, and you want to go on that stage, you want to be like, this is what I've written, and it's like the nearest thing to that at the moment is Facebook Live, and it's like, oh God, I can't tell if people like that. Did they like it? Was it horrible? People sat at home going, "That's a pile of rubbish, that." But you don't know. You wouldn't know.
No.
So
you don't know at all. Yeah, but I get you completely. I mean, like you just need to talk about your process of writing. As a writer myself, I'm often writing when I'm out and around on the go. And like I said, you've had this time to, like you said before, to stop this year. Because we're forced. It's not been easy, because I think a lot of artists have struggled. And the amount of people I know that have actually packed in doing music or writing completely,
I know.
going back to it, it's scary times.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. I mean, like I said, mental health is spoken about anyway. But in regards to musicians, I mean, I've had a total case of, musicians that I've seen, and it's like, oh, I've written 3 new songs, and you sat there thinking, well, why have I not written 3? Like, why have they written 3 songs and I haven't? And it's, you start sort of doubting yourself quite a bit. But the musicians that I've spoken to, some of them have even said to me, how's it going with the music? Oh, well, I've not picked up my guitar for like 3 months, and I now work somewhere else, and they've not, and it's, I mean, I've battled to not get to that position. I mean, I don't think I ever would. I mean, I don't know where I'd be without music, so it's not something I could give up, because it's always there. It's something, even if you write a song about, a delayed postage coming through for Christmas or something like that, there's always something happening, even if you're not outside. But I think not being able to have that gigging and things like that, and I mean, the one thing that I wanted to do last year, I started a little bit of it towards the end of the year before, in 2019, but was collaborations. I've never written with anybody else before, and I started writing.
Oh, wow.
No, so there's a singer-songwriter in Liverpool called Cal Ruddy, and he's sort of like I'd say like a folky Americana, sort of rock and roll Americana sort of vibe. He's amazing. But he's a really good friend, and we started writing in that year, and it was great, because usually, like a bedroom writer, if you don't like something and you're like, no, it's get rid of that, and obviously working with him, you have that experience of, oh, well, I quite like that, because you could do this with it, and it's sort of open your eyes to that. And obviously 2020 hit, and it was just like everything came to a grinding halt, and it's not having that interaction. And I mean, as much as you can do it over Zoom, again, it's just not the same as in person, face-to-face sort of contact. So that's something I hope this year, fingers crossed, eventually we can get back to, and be positive.
No, fingers crossed, definitely. Do you envisage bringing out the other singles this year, or you're not sure yet?
Yes. So you know what? I've always done this. Always been a case of like, I've released a single, and it's like, crap, I've not written anything new. Like, how do I get recording this now? But funnily enough, I mean, over the years, I mean, in my phone, if you look on the notes, and especially the voice recorder sections, I've got about 20 verses, 50 choruses, and like normally, all my songs are usually made up of like a montage of like bits that I've found and made into a song. So, actually, I did at one point feel like, oh, how am I going to release new things in 2021 if I struggled last year? But I've actually got a lot of songs I've never actually worked on. They're just sort of sat there. So it's sort of going through the archives of like being able to re-release them and things like that. And I think, like I said, I mean, I'm in a lot better position mentally. I mean, I go for walks every day now when I've got into my exercise and things like that. And that's really helped it, because, it could be a case of you go for a walk and you get a melody in your head. That's usually how it hits me. I don't sit down and write a melody. I could be going to a walk to Tesco and it's like, oh, this would be a really good melody for this, or that would be a really good lyric, or you just see something happen and you can write on those experiences. So definitely the plan for this year, releasing singles, but it'll be every sort of 3 months or so. So it'll be like a gap, and then 3 months, and then
I think it gives it does. I think when you release a single like you do nowadays, because the singles market is different to what it was obviously years ago. At least one track now you can spend a couple of months working on the promotion and stuff, can't you? And then obviously, like, we're in lockdown still, do another one a couple months later. It makes sense that way for you. So
yeah, I mean, it's a case of, at the moment, for obviously I've got the singles there. It's just a case of recording. So obviously recording studios and things like that. I'm not sure in regards to the lockdown how they're working, or whether you can go in them or such. Or
I was going to ask you about your single or that. Then how was that actually recorded? Was it all done through?
Yeah, so that was done in a studio. So
Ah.
actually, so with Moment, that was previous. So yeah, Moment and Set Yourself Free. Like I said, I write in twos. So with Set Yourself Free, basically, I recorded Moment and Set Yourself Free at the start of 2020. So in the February time.
Wow. Well, just before lockdown, then,
Yeah,
basically, literally,
just
wasn't it?
before
Yeah.
lockdown,
That
and
was both
then
times.
obviously, yeah, I was able to release. So it's so funny. I've released a Moment in the summertime, and the videos on YouTube. It's actually me just dancing in my garden in the summer because I couldn't get a videographer over. I couldn't leave my house, so I thought I'll just film it myself on my phone. So, and it's a lyric video, so that was quite good. I managed to do that. And then it got to the September time. I thought, this is now the time I need to release a new single, really. And it was like, what? I need to write a new song, probably. And then it dawned on me, like, because I write in twos, it was like, I've got to Set Yourself Free. I already recorded, and it's just sat there. So I thought, brilliant, let's get it pushed. So a lot of promo went into that for the Christmas launch of it, which was great. But yeah, I only just managed to get that recorded prior to going into pandemic. So, in hindsight, good job, I think.
I think it was, because I was wondering how you did it when I played it back, and I played this in London last week. I thought the times of this is a very full sound. I thought to myself, how on earth is she managed to do it? I was wondering, were you getting the drummer sat in the toilet, the bass player sat in the other room?
Yeah. You know what? I should have done a non-disclaimer and said, yeah, I did it all myself in my home studio. That's the quality I've got. Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I think going forward, I do a lot of writing with my guitarist James Frankland. I write a lot with him, and he's very good at technical, so he can do a lot of recordings and things like that. So usually, if I have an idea or I have a song written, I do a really rough demo on my side and then send it over to him. And we work together quite well, but again, because of restrictions, not sure how we're going to get together on that. But I can send things over to him to work on prior to getting back into the studio. Or I think a lot of studios do have like the sort of PPE, it's all safety laid out and things like that. It's just at the moment I'm not sure, and I live with someone who's at risk, so it's a case of. But hopefully they're due for their vaccine soon, so fingers crossed.
Yeah,
And
fingers crossed on that, because definitely the vaccines are starting to come through thick and fast now.
Yeah, definitely.
I know both my parents have had it, and my mum's like 71, my dad's 85.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. There's a story I'll tell you about off mic later on, but that was very, very funny. But I'm not repeating that here because it'd kill me. Right? But that's brilliant. Now, that's pretty well covered all the questions, Charlotte. Now, if people want to find out more about you, where would they best go in? And I know you've got a lot of links, haven't you? So
I'll tell you what, I've got a lot of links, but this is a good little promo thing, this. Thanks for this little lead-in. So I have a website. I had a website, but I've done it up now, so it's all professional. So I have a website, and all the links are on there. It's just charlottemary.co.uk. I'm also on Facebook, which is Charlotte Mary Music, Instagram, which is Charlotte Mary UK, Charlotte Mary Official. And I'm also on Twitter, but I don't know how to use it. I'm on there. If you want to tag me in things, that's great, but I have no idea. I feel like it's just a platform for causing controversy. So I'm not that level. I'm not Liam Gallagher's level yet. So I don't.
All Donald Trump, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I am on Twitter if you want to tag me in anything. But yeah, Instagram and Facebook are my two main platforms that I use. So. But obviously on Facebook, Instagram's linked on there, my website, everything's linked on there. I'm on SoundCloud, so you can hear the tracks. If you don't want to purchase them, I would love you to purchase them, but if not, they're on SoundCloud, so you can listen to me on the go. I'm on Spotify, you can listen to me on there. Obviously, I'm on different playlists as well, so you can find me on X, Y, and Z. But yeah, pretty much.
Brilliant.
All over the shop.
Sounds good to me then. Right, well, I'll let you take a quick break, because I know you're going to do a couple of songs for us in the second half.
Yes.
So hang around, everybody, because Charlotte's brilliant, and I'm looking forward to this. We'll see you all in a minute.
Spoken, mate.
Hi, guys. Straight over to Charlotte Mary. She's going to do 3 songs for us today. Over to you, Charlotte.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this first one is a single I released in sort of summertime last year. This one's called Moment, and I hope you enjoy. I'm scared I'm going under, can't seem to climb back out. Sometimes I feel the pressure, too strong to block it out. Do you ever wonder when it all went wrong? Did it make much sense when you called it out? I know you're in there somewhere, you need to find yourself. Try to get up to me, can't seem to stand you now. Everything we have is good, and you threw it all away just like you said you would. Do you ever feel lost in the moment, scared that you're not good enough? Everything that you had is over, and there's no way you'll get it back, no way you'll get it back up. Trying to hide your feelings, easier said than done. Making your way through life, just like you've always done. Everything we have is good, and you threw it all away just like you said you would. Do you ever feel lost in the moment, scared that you're not good enough? Everything that you had is over, and there's no way you're getting back, no way you're getting back up. Do you ever feel lost in the moment, scared that you're not good enough? Everything that you had is over, and there's no way you're getting back, no way you're getting back. Do you ever feel lost in the moment, scared that you're not good enough? Everything that you had is over, and there's no way you're getting back, no way you're getting back up.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Oh,
Brilliant.
I had a hiccup midway through that then.
I didn't notice it, but that always happens, that, doesn't it?
Indeed. So
I always find, Charlotte, when you get a hiccup going when you're singing a song, you can disguise it a bit more. When you're doing it as poetry, like I am, sometimes
yeah.
that's
Oh
the fun
no.
starts.
Oh bless.
Right, but anyway.
Real.
Okay.
Do you want another hit? Another hit.
Oh, I like that word. Hit. Yeah.
Another hit. So let's do another one. Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so let's do let's do Man Up. Okay, so I'll do the radio edit of this version. I mean, you'll know which word, but I'll do a radio edit so anyone else is listening. So okay, so this one's Man Up. Let's put a capo on. Bosh. Ooh, Capo did not like that one then. There you go. Been like this today, just an awkward silence. I try and refrain from something I'll regret. Don't understand how you sit there in silence. Just give me a sign to what I've done wrong. Ooh, what is he trying to say? Ooh, am I just in your way? I've been wasting my time and you make up your mind, 'cause I'm tired of waiting around. Well, I thought it was me, turns out it's just you. Man up and just say it how it is. I tried conversation, but nothing in return. Turned up at your doorstep, but still I can't be sure. Like talking to a brick wall and hearing my boys. Tired of this game, held by somebody else. Ooh, what is he trying to say? Ooh, am I just in your way? Have I been wasting my time? You made up your mind, 'cause I'm tired of waiting around. Well, I thought it was me, turns out it's just you. Man up and just say it how it is. Ooh, what is he trying to say? Ooh, just say it how it is. Ooh, what is he trying to say? Ooh, just say it how it is. You think I'm a fool, but I never miss a trick. I think it's time to realize now that you're just full of it. Have I been wasting my time and you made up your mind? 'Cause I'm tired of waiting around. Well, I thought it was me, turns out it's just you. Man up. Have I been wasting my time and you made up your mind? 'Cause I'm tired of waiting around. Well, I thought it was me, turns out it's just you. Man up and just say it how it is.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Very good. You know what? I love with that song. I absolutely love playing it acoustically. But when I went solo, I missed a lot of the songs I write. Just has a kick drum all the way through it. So for a drummer, pretty dull because it's just very Mumford and Sons kick drum all the way through. However, I saw quite a few people on the open mic circuit playing with a stomp box. So it sounds like a kick drum. And I was like, I need one of them because all my songs pretty much need that underneath it, you know, to get like, I mean, especially with that last song, it just adds to it and it gets the adrenaline going quite a bit when I'm playing it, which is great. So I bought myself one online. However, I bought it's like a block of cheese. It looks like a block of cheese. And you tap it and it obviously makes the sound. But the one thing I found was it moved forward when I was doing it live. So I was only doing the splits, trying to play it. And I had an absolute nightmare. So I was advised to buy one called a Wazinator. It's Australian. And it's basically a huge floor plate. So you put your whole foot on it and it's flat. So when I do my open mic nights, I pretty much play with that. And it just adds to its own thing, but I've learnt now to stay in rhythm with it, which is great because anyone who used to give me a drum, I get the kick drum in, then the snare comes in. I was horrible at it, but it's taught me how to keep in rhythm. So yeah,
I think it does when you do that sort of thing. I always believe that sort of stuff. Practice makes perfect, really. I think because you're really good at the guitar itself. Learning second instruments sometimes you can pick it up a bit easier when you start completely from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, so I am a piano player, so I know my theory on piano, and I played piano since I was I played my grandma's organ when I was about 4, and then I was like, I want to play piano now, so I learned piano till at the age of 12, and then I learned to play by ear instead of theory reading, so I can play. So if someone plays a song, I can pretty much work it out on piano, but before I was only able to read music, whereas now I can read music a bit, but ear training, I'm great because I can just play it out, get a tune out of it. But for my guitar, I actually write in open tuning, so I write in Dagdad, which is the Irish open tuning, and it's pretty much a cheat, really. But I'm not, in no means am I a guitar player. I have no theory of guitar, and my band will back me up on this when we're in like rehearsals, and I write a new song, and they'll say, "What key is it?" And I'm like, "I've not got a clue." I know what capo's on. I can tell you that much. So my guitarist has to step in and work out exactly what chords I'm playing and what I'm doing because I've just not got a clue. So I can pass. The fact that I can do a smoke mirror and get away with it is good for me. So
I think that's the best way of that. Right, I think we're doing one more song today, aren't we? So
Yes. Okay, so this is my latest single, Set Yourself Free. This is the one that's on Spotify, on Nashville Music, and it's done really well. Really well, you know. But yeah, so this one's called Set Yourself Free, and I hope you like it.
Some days are harder than anything else. Sometimes it's easy to end up in mess. Tired fighting, this feeling won't go away. Feeling restricted, I can't see and breathe. Trapped in a lifetime of letting off steam. Tired fighting, this feeling won't go away. Life is a game, nobody can win. When life seems hard, don't ever give in. Think to yourself how bad it could be. Think of the good times and set yourself free. Days seem longer, it's hard to pull through. And everyone around you is staring at you. Tired of fighting, this feeling won't go away. Love and affection is never enough. You need the courage to let it move on. Tired of fighting, this feeling won't go away. Life is a game, nobody can win. When life seems hard, don't ever give in. Think to yourself how bad it could be. Think of the good times and set yourself free. Bang your head against the wall that keeps shattering. Open your eyes and you realize the truth of it. Take from the lessons, the things that you learn. They're not worth the heartache, the lies or the hurt. Bang your head against the wall that keeps shattering. Open your eyes and you realize the truth of it. Take from the lessons, the things that you learn. They're not worth the heartache, the lies or the hurt. But life is a game, nobody can win. Life is a game, nobody can win. When life seems hard, don't ever give in. Think to yourself how bad it could be. Think of the good times and set yourself free. Oh, 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 oh,
Superb. Great way
Thank
finishing it off,
you.
Charlotte. That. Hey,
Thank
make sure
you.
everyone, make sure you go and check out the single. Brilliant, but it's just as brilliant. It sat here in a private gig with Charlotte, is silly. It's been fantastic. Thank you today, Charlotte, for this. It's been a pleasure. So
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
hang around. I need to quit word you off mic, but Zandian, thank you again, Charlotte. And as Don Carlos says, everybody, stay safe and stay over. We'll see you all soon.
Spoken Label.